Hi everyone, Emily from Emilysvisions here. I just wanted to record another little video. My energy is starting to return after school holidays and all of the rushing around of summer, meeting wonderful people and having interesting conversations. It's funny when you have an internet life, because when you get busy in real life, like, your YouTube channel can just seem really quiet and actually look like you're not doing anything when you're actually far too busy to do to do videos. Anyhow, have to gradually accept that people who watch are human beings who understand their own busy lives. And in fact, actually, I think I've seen people being inspired by my videos because of my disability and just sort of trying my best. And I think probably that's a good thing for us all to know, that we can just try our best. This morning I put on Facebook that I had this feeling that, like, I could achieve everything I want to do today so long as I just maintain confidence in myself. I'm not over ambitious, so unless I have a seizure, which of course can happen at any time, but it's best to kind of almost, without ignoring the fact and being ready to look after myself if it happens, for me to just work with what I've got and sort of keep faith. Anyway, today I just wanted to talk about abuse a little. And also the conduct of abusers, because a lot of people, there's a lot of people who are abusers and they get away with it. We've all experienced that. I mean, everybody, like when we were young, we were at school, it's all very intense, everyone's thrown together. There's bound to be a little bit of nitpicking and bullying that happens, and that happens on a smaller or a greater scale. But people, regardless of the scale, we can have some kind of an understanding of what it feels like to be bullied and to be abused. And I want to call this video, I think, the first stone, because one thing I've witnessed when people have abused me, of course I'm fairly easy target because of my regular seizures. My regular seizures make me quite weak, and they make me quite odd. So put the two of those things together, and that makes me particularly. I had some really bad troubles at school where I was a target for a lot of physical and emotional abuse, especially when I was living up country and had a posh southern accent to boot. But yeah, I just wanted to mention the first stone, because that the phrase, that saying, "He who is without sin cast the first stone." Now, a lot of people know this phrase, but at the same time, the meaning of it is that that when you accuse people, you should look to yourself first. How's your conduct? Have you been perfect? Did you ever make a mistake like that? And if you did, then, maybe you shouldn't be trying to pick somebody else up on that mistake. Maybe you should look to yourself first. And I've seen a lot of narcissistic abuse where people have actually, they know how to, they're top-notch bullies, on different scales too, so they might not seem very strong, but they can actually still apply this, maybe even in private. A lot of abuse happens in private, nobody gets to see it. But they can actually say, they can throw the first stone. And when they throw the first stone, what happens is they can throw it at the person that they're abusing. And then the person who is being abused, they look like the bad person. So, for example, like these days, people can say, "Oh, so-and-so's a hater," or "so-and-so is over-emotional," or they say that this thing happened, but it didn't happen, and they're just trying to make me look bad. Or or yes, there was a difficulty, but I had a good reason for behaving like that. I feel sorry for me. I was having a bad time, or I was drunk, or I have a valid excuse, which means that the abuser is not allowed to speak up. They're not allowed to say that something went wrong. They're not allowed even to say, "Oh, I don't want to hang out with you because you're an unreasonable person." How dare they say I'm an unreasonable person? I have many friends, says the narcissist. I'm successful in this way. I'm successful in that way. I'm very, very kind. I can give you many examples of me being kind. So it can't have happened. And that person is making the fuss. And that's a trap, because actually if somebody has been abused, yes, they'll be weaker, and it will take a lot of energy for them to speak up. And when they do, they might not have the extra energy to defend themselves. So I see this happening a fair amount, particularly on the internet, where it's easy to express ourselves. And it's easy to pick up on other people's mistakes and point out they did something wrong. But actually, are we without sin? Is it right, for example, to label somebody as a hater, or as somebody who, is over emotional, or unkind because they wouldn't let us do what we wanted to do without question? Is that unkind? I don't think it is. I think that's somebody asserting themselves. And I think we must look to see, and when we see somebody accusing somebody, we should not automatically assume that they're on the right side, and also that there are two sides. There's always two sides to every story. But who is throwing a stone right now? And should they be throwing it? Because regardless of circumstance and how difficult things have been for people, there really is no excuse for trying to get compensation for our inconvenience by attacking others. And in my experience, there isn't really, it statistically doesn't get the right response. Either somebody, even if you're in the right and you feel like you're in the right to attack somebody, my experience is if they made the mistake before, they'll make it again, and they may not just be the sort of person you want to hang out with. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that today, and look to remind myself to do a little bit of meditation myself on looking at my own conduct, and then not minding other people's so much, especially when it comes to starting to throw stones, as opposed to just being part of a calm and equal debate, recognising that each side has their point to make. Yeah. Bye.